Good morning, everyone. My name is Vivek. I am the managing director here at DIMS. And today we have Jasmine. Hello, Jasmine. Welcome to the DIMS podcast.
Hello.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you're from, and tell us about your journey through the treatment court.
Well, my name is Jasmine Klaus. I got into treatment court because I had made some mistakes and I got three felonies. All of them are drug related. I didn't really know where else to turn. I was sitting in jail and heard about the treatment court program. Was very adamant with Layla, emailing her every day from the jail, asking her if I had got accepted. Pretty much had to. I didn't really know what the next steps out of jail looked like. I had to have a stable place to go.
Hmm.
And so I had went into the Salvation Army, into their sober living program.
Okay.
Layla helped me. Like, I went into jail in shorts, a tank top, and flip flops. And when I got out, it was the middle of winter and I didn't have anything. And I walked over. The jail's right next to the courthouse. And I walked over to the courthouse. And thankfully, she gave me a ride to the Salvation Army because I don't know that I would have made it there. I struggled while I was in the first part of treatment court. It took me roughly like 4.5 months to complete phase one. There's the three phases
Hmm.
while I was in there. I just wasn't being like proactive with my treatment part. I mean, I was showing up for UAs and doing that, but like yeah. And so I got sanctioned to sit 2 days in jail. And that kind of was just like an eye opener. I had never been to jail sober. So that was. That was a little rough. I mean, it's all rough, going to jail,
Right.
but I feel like,
Did you feel like that's an interesting point? You felt like dealing with jail sober was much more difficult because you were sober, so you had all your wits about you, and you had time to think about what was going on. And
yeah,
earlier, when you mentioned that you were coming down from the high, and so you were just sleeping it out nonstop, basically, and so you didn't have time to think about why you're here, what happened, things like that.
it just kind of like all like clicked for me that
Hmm.
like the treatment court team was there to help me. They
Right.
weren't against me. um and I
When
mean,
did that realization click that the treatment court team is not against you, but advocating for you?
so when I went to jail, I had to sign over temporary guardianship to my grandma. And before they turned it into the courthouse, they had added my mother to it without my knowledge. My grandma couldn't like care for my daughter. My mom took her and then she just like wouldn't give her back. And so treatment court actually helped me fight like to get my daughter back. They gave me the right paperwork to file. Layla, was like there rooting for me the entire time, and it helped me because I didn't have anybody on my side, in my corner, anything like that. So it was me fighting my whole family for my daughter.
That's actually very powerful. Tell me a little about just going back when you initially were in jail and you found out about treatment courts. Was it difficult for you to find out about treatment courts? How did that happen? Did someone come and talk to you about it?
So we were just kind of like all of us girls were like talking about this like program and that program and so on and so forth. And it's like I'd never been to like Rimrock or MCDC or anything like that. And it's like I didn't want to leave my community.
Was it difficult in phase one? And so you're saying that you didn't really get the program, you're just going through the motions of the program, but after you were put back into jail as a sanction, that helped you understand and reflect a little bit better. And that sort of was the turning point for you where you came back. Were you well on your way to being treated when you got custody of your daughter, or was it something that happened midway through the program or after the program ended?
I know I started fighting for her a few months after I got into the program, and I
Hmm.
didn't get her back fully until like 10 months after I'd been in the program.
Got it. How could we, as treatment courts, do better to make you aware of your rights, your responsibilities? Do you think it's just, they do a good job, but it's up to the recipient to receive that and internalize it?
Well, I mean, since like getting their help with fighting for my daughter, I am no longer afraid to file paperwork of my own and go in front of a judge by myself, and stand up for what I believe in. For instance, I filed to get off paper early. I had two different cases, two different judges, and one of the judges, commended me, saying, I did an amazing job, and she granted it. The other judge, so since I had to, what are they, consecutive, I finish and start one, and then I can finish and start the other. Since I hadn't started the other piece, he technically couldn't allow me to get off, so I had to serve the 3 years, before I can file again to get off of paper. And June of next year, the 3 years will be up, and I can file and petition to finally be done with paper. And I will have spent more of my life on probation than I have actually not, because I was on juvenile probation also. And
What would you say to somebody who, you know, let's say, I'm sure there's Jasmines out there sitting in jail right now in your position, right? What would you tell them about the treatment court?
I don't know that I really even experienced any, quote unquote bad. Like now that I like look back at it, it helped me to become what I am now. Like, being put in jail, I mean, you could look at that as a bad, but it helped me pull my head out of where it didn't need to be. I feel like the good outweighs the bad, and I'm yes. And there's this one like instant like where Layla, like, so my best friend had committed suicide, and I was like on the brink of like going out and just saying F it and going and relapsing. And I called Layla, and she sat on the phone with me for an hour and a half, just sitting there, talking with me and letting me cry, and like, not just trying to get off the phone with me. She sat there in my feelings with me, and I don't know that I've had anybody else do that.
So I spoke to Layla about the kind of extracurricular activities that she does, floating the river and gym sessions and those kind of things. What impact, if any, did that have on you? How did that make you feel? Did it bring about a change? Did it make it easier to go through treatment court?
I feel like, in the beginning it was awkward just because, like, I don't know these people, but like the more you go, the more fun it becomes, because, you talk to, participants that, you didn't know yesterday. And, you talk to some of the team members, and, maybe you guys you know, bonded on something that you had no idea that they even liked, like it's showing that you're both human, like yeah, they may have a little bit of authority over you, but they are still human also.
And when you say both, who are you referring to your fellow participants, or are you referring to the Layla and the other staff members?
Yeah, both of us. So
Okay,
like yeah, the team and the participants.
got it. So that helped you understand that they're also human. Did you before all of these events just look at them as authority figures,
Yes.
and okay, and then after these interactions, they seem more human to you than just officers of the law of sorts.
Yes, and I don't know if she told you or not. I was actually a part of the team after I had graduated.
Tell me a little bit about what you do now. So after you graduated, tell me your story after that.
So I was in the program for 2 years and 3 months,
Okay.
and I I had had my son, and so I kind of was recuperating from that and yada yada, and I saw this. She had sent me like this like flyer, and it was peer support,
Mm-hmm.
and I signed up for it. I went and I took the 40-hour class that they provided, and I passed. And so I did all of the steps that I needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
I became a peer support certified behavioral health peer support specialist, and I started helping my fellow peers, and I became the peer support on the treatment court team. It was good. It was awkward the first like few times sitting up in the
Mm-hmm.
little jury box, but
Right. When you've been there before, right? So,
yeah.
tell me a little bit about the role of a peer support specialist.
It's like a counselor, but like I have that lived experience to where I can talk about, my lived experience with them as a counselor, that's like a no, and yeah.
Do you think the fact that you've gone through the program helps you make your job, do your job better?
Yes, absolutely.
So you feel like you're able to relate with the participants a lot more because you were in their shoes uh, before that.
Yep.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah.
Jasmine, I appreciate you taking the time to speaking with us.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you.